Good evening, America. We are here. Oh, it's just me, actually. We're not here with anyone. But it is the first episode of the summer, really. Sort of. And, I feel like it's important for me to just announce and put it out there for the world to see that we're back. We're back for like the fucking fifth time. But we are back. This summer we will be producing episodes left and right. At least one episode per week. Hopefully two. I'm trying to aim for two. Let's see how it goes. Hopefully I could get some guests on because I don't like doing these solo podcasts. I could talk and talk, but I don't think people want to hear me talk. I think people want to hear me have a conversation with someone. I think that's what people like. That's where my charm gets to show itself, But anyways, I've been doing some studying. I've been doing some studying for the podcast, and all you motherfuckers are always talking shit like, oh, why don't you got video? Why don't you fucking do this and that? So I got myself a little fucking book called NPR's Podcast Startup Guide. Now, if you're like me, you don't know what the fuck NPR is. Let me open this shit up to actually find out what that shit is. Because I actually don't know what it is either. Let's see. I think it's National Public Radio. Something like that. Goddamn. Yeah, some shit like that. National Public Radio. Something like that. Nah, I still don't know who the fuck that is. Let me tell you, first and foremost. Someone pointed this book out to me, actually. I had already checked this book out. You know me, I go to the library. I don't buy these books. I just go to my local library. I see something I like, and I'll be like, all right, let's get that shit. But you know me, I like going to bookstores. I like looking like an intellectual. So I go to this bookstore, right? You may have heard of it. It's called Barnes and Noble, or Barnes and Nobles, one of those two. But anyways, I'm there, right? And, this person knows that I have a podcast, Give me a sec. Let me take a drink. What are we drinking today? We're drinking Powerade Mountain Berry Blast. 50% more electrolytes. Give me a sec. That's good. Anyways, so I'm at this fucking bookstore, Barnes and Noble, right? And this person tells me like, "Oh, look, NPR's Podcast Startup Guide," or something like that, right? Something along those lines. I don't think she actually said the full name. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I actually got that book because, as I said earlier, I went to the library." I didn't know what it was. This person actually told me, like, oh, it's NPR, national, whatever. That didn't really help me at all because I don't really listen to the radio, So, yeah, I was like, all right, cool. When I had a chance, I actually, I fucking just sat my ass down and read for like, I want to say like almost 2 hours. I'll be honest with you, this fucking book was pretty fucking useless for the first 80 or so pages. The first 80 or so pages were fucking useless, I'll be honest. Goddamn. I wasted fucking 2 fucking hours, maybe more, honestly. Ugh, I could have been doing something better. Yeah, let's see how many fucking pages this book actually has. Let's fucking see. I'm not gonna count the glossary and okay, let's see. Fucking about 260. I want to say, I don't want to do the math right now. I doubt I can do it in my head, but fuck, that's like a third of the book maybe. And this fucking book was pretty useless. I still haven't finished it. I still haven't fucking finished it. But goddamn, I don't think this book is gonna be as useful as I was hoping it was gonna be. Yeah, man, what the fuck? Okay, plan, create. Yeah, I really should have read the table of contents before. Whatever, I didn't buy it. Who's this guy? Glenn Weldon. Yeah, I gotta check this motherfucker out. This book is like mentioning all these podcasts and shit. I'm guessing it since it's from like or affiliated with NPR, whoever the fuck they are. They gotta be like repping NPR podcasts because these motherfuckers do not make any mention of fucking Rogan. As some of you that are avid listeners of the podcast, you may already know that I started podcasting because of Rogan. You know, I found his podcast. I want to say like 2013, something like that. And yeah, that's how it started, and that's pretty much the person I've looked. Oh, him and Lex. I've looked at them both to just kind of, just see what I could do better, see what I could add to the podcast, and just to remind me of like where it started. A lot of people want to come out and say like, oh, you should fucking use some thirst trap thumbnails, fucking get video on. Again, I don't like the thirst trap one. I mean, that's kind of funny. I'll admit that's funny. But the whole idea of, like, goddamn, like, I wanted to create a podcast that, could act as a form of entertainment when you're driving to school, when you're driving to work, when you're doing chores, maybe when you're fucking cleaning or whatever, right? But for some reason, everybody wants fucking video so they can fucking see the facial expressions. Goddamn motherfuckers, don't you got chores to do? Like, don't you got a job? I mean, I'm flattered that you want to fucking, spend an hour of your fucking time just looking at my face and shit. But, I mean, I guess I could provide both forms, right? Like one audio, one video. But anyways, yeah, I don't know who the fuck Glenn Weldon is. I don't know. All these fucking podcasts. Let me pull up this fucking book. I got this shit right here. Just so you motherfuckers know I'm not just talking shit. Let me pull up one of these fucking Guy Raz. Creator. How I built this with Guy Raz. That is the most uncreative fucking name ever. Holy shit. My fucking name is better than that. Let me see. Liana Simstrom, podcast manager. You got a fucking podcast manager? Psst. I am my podcast manager. I handle all this shit. And see, this is what I'm saying. We're not low budget. We're no budget. I've said this many times before. And some people that listen to some of that I don't know what you want to call it, maybe underground type of fucking hip hop, rap, whatever. You guys will recognize that line from Benefit's song. I want to say Supreme. I could be wrong. I forgot what song it is. I'll look it up. But yeah, we don't got that fucking NPR money yet. But we're still creating an amazing podcast, Am I breaking all the rules that they're saying here? They're saying that I gotta come up with a script and shit. I don't know what the fuck. A script? The fuck? Why? What the fuck do I need a script? You motherfuckers can't talk. I could talk. But I guess these motherfuckers want to sound... they're probably not cussing either. So, I guess they are a little bit more professional. But not me. I don't need no fucking script. I'll fucking talk. And this is something I wanted to talk about, this fucking NPR podcast startup guide. Holy shit, I would not recommend this book. I definitely would not recommend this book to anybody that's considered starting a podcast or even flirted with that idea. I would recommend them checking out my podcast if they've considered starting a podcast. I think I can provide better information than they can, than this book, this author, yeah, I would say just fucking follow my lead and then fucking, I'm sure people would want to do video. I know some people that have done podcasts after me that brought out the video. I just don't see the fucking benefit in it. But yeah, there's a place for that. There's a place for that. For some reason, people want to stare, right? People want to stare at their screen. They don't want to fucking, be productive, I guess. And that's fine with me, I guess. If you got people like that want to tune into my podcast, fuck it. Hey, send some money to buy some merch. We'll bring out the merch real soon. Got myself an ImWithCesar hippo shirt. I'll post that shit pretty soon. I'd be looking fucking good in that shit, let me tell you. That shit came out pretty clean. Yeah, it was pretty clean, I guess. It could have been better, I guess, but, For what? Nah, it could have been better, I'll be honest. I should have fucking called them up and been like, hey, you motherfuckers, look at this shit. You know what, let me take another drink. Yeah, let me take another drink real quick. Did I mention this is the blue one? The blue Powerade? I wonder if you guys could hear that. Yeah, I used to drink the blue Powerade back in the day. Back when McDonald's actually had Powerade. I don't know if some of you remember that. But McDonald's used to carry the blue Powerade. Blue Powerade and High C. I don't know if they still carry High C. I'm pretty sure they don't. But they used to carry the blue Powerade. And that's the shit that me and my buddies used to get. Me and Freddie, yeah, that's the thing we used to get. We used to mix it and call it green stuff. And by mixing, I meant we would mix the Powerade and the High C. You mix that shit together and it turns green. I used to experiment with that shit just to 2/3 blue, 1/3 High C, to make the best type of green stuff, It would be an amazing flavor, I would recommend it if you ever find a McDonald's that fucking has those two flavors. I don't think any McDonald's has has those two flavors anymore. But I mean, you can buy it yourself, right? Experiment a bit. Speaking of McDonald's, I saw the first McDonald's ever recently. I was like, what the fuck? Why is that McDonald's so fucking different from all the other ones? It looks like fucking straight up old school. Like, you look at that shit and you're like, oh, fuck. Is that shit real? Or is that like a fucking, I don't know, like a fucking little marketing ploy or some shit, Because that shit looks fake. But no, apparently it's real and it's the first McDonald's ever. You know what? Let me look that up. I feel fucking stupid saying that shit. What if they were just lying to me and shit? I'll probably look it up later, but yeah. A lot of stories with McDonald's, a lot of terrible stories. I started the podcast actually back in the day, back in those Fortune 500 company days. If some of you remember those days, I took down a lot of those episodes, all those episodes actually, because I wanted to rebrand. Some of you may remember this conversation that I had with Freddie about rebranding without actually rebranding. I'm sure there's a better word for that. Reopened, I guess. I don't know. Restarted. I guess you could say restarted. I don't know. I'll ask Freddie. Freddie's a wordsmith. But anyways, yeah. This is just really an episode to have in between two Freddie episodes, because I will be seeing Freddie later and we will be conducting another episode. I feel like Freddie has a lot of valuable knowledge, a lot of insight to the world that is both metaphysical and physical, because he is a philosopher. So I feel like Freddie has a lot of good knowledge to spread regarding the podcast, and I feel like he has a lot of ideas ready to spring out. I also think he has a drinking problem. So I'll be bringing a bottle with me to go see him, just so we could get those creative juices flowing. You know what I mean? Is that why I'm drinking the Blue Powerade? No, not really. I've been drinking so much water. I've been drinking like 1.5 liters every day. Do I feel better? No, not really. I thought I'd feel like healthier, happier, maybe. But no, not really. I just gotta pee more often. But let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it is coming out watery. Or I mean, not watery. That's not the best word to describe it, right? But very clear. You look at my urine and you're like, wow, this guy stays hydrated. So I thought I'd spice it up a bit today and be like, you know what, fuck it. I'm still going to drink the 1.5 liters or so of water. But, fuck it, let me get some Powerade, switch it up a bit, just add a little flavor to it. Why not? And, I guess it's kind of good, right? If I'm gonna go drinking with Freddie, I know it's probably going to end up turning into like, I drank a little too much. So, it's going to be good to at least have that Powerade in my system. Or am I supposed to take it after? Whatever. Regardless, I got that Powerade in my system. I'm sure it will give me power to not feel shitty as fuck later on. Because I'm still trying to hit the gym. I got to hit chest today. Now, am I a fan of chest day? I know a lot of you are probably wondering. I'm sure some of you have heard the rumors that I wanted to start off my leg day by hitting chest first. Now that is true. That is true. But originally that was not my plan. My plan was to, continue hitting chest instead of legs. Did I end up hitting legs? I really don't remember. But some of you may remember that, or some of you may have heard those rumors. And I'm just here to confirm that that was true. But anyways, look at that. We got, we're almost 20 minutes in. Let's see what else. Do I got anything else to say? I would not recommend this book, NPR's podcast startup guide. I would recommend listening to ImWithCesar instead if you are dabbling with the idea of, starting a podcast. Yeah, listen to my podcast if you want to fucking get an idea of what you need to start a podcast. Don't read this fucking book, which is very interesting because, I was watching this podcast, I guess, with Dana White. He was talking to some ex-football player. And he was telling the host of the podcast, Dana was telling him that, like, the reason he thinks most of the time all these people that are, like, successful and rich like him are college dropouts is because these people that drop out of college never learned the rules of how to formally go about certain things. Like, I don't know, for example, starting a podcast. They don't go about learning in the classroom how to follow these rules and whatnot, right? They'll take more risks. Now, this book right here, now let's say, I don't know, I'm sure there's an audience for it, right? They published a fucking book, so obviously there's an audience for it. I would say, I've learned more just from doing the podcast than reading this motherfucker. Now, granted, I have not finished the fucking book. I still need about a little less than 2/3. A little less than 2/3, I'd say. But I just can't imagine it's going to tell me. Maybe, like, there's a legal section, apparently. So you don't get sued or whatever. Am I going to get sued? What the fuck are you going to sue me for? Maybe Sal's management company is going to get fucking offended that I talk shit about them and their fighter. But, really, like, I'm not using no fucking music. Shit. Just me talking. Just me talking. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe Dana had a point. Because I didn't really fucking... I saw Rogan do it. I saw Joe Rogan do it. And I was like, I want to do that shit. Went out, got myself a mic. And then, you know, put it out there for the world to see. And then I rebranded. Anyways, that's it for today's episode. I'm gonna go see Freddie right now, so don't be surprised if the next guest after this episode is Freddie. Good evening, America.